Joining me now with tips on getting a hold of our own budgets, author of the Budget Kit and the Money Tracker, Judy Lawrence. Welcome, Judy.
Hi, Michelle.
Why is now a good time to get our financial house in order?
Well, tax time just finished, and the positive side of tax time is that you have all of your records out, everything's accessible, and this is the time to just look at those papers and create a budget.
First up, how do we start? We want to develop a budget. How do we set a realistic one?
A realistic budget, first of all, you need to set realistic goals and have those goals in writing, have them measurable, have them specific, and have them exciting so that they're motivating for you to do. And that would be the first thing. Secondly would be to develop or set up a plan for each month, a plan where you have your income and your debts and know what your income is. And many people will ignore the debt section, and I just say make sure you pay attention. What are all your debts? What are you paying in interest? Know what you're obligated with. And added to that are the expenses. Many times people will forget about their monthly expenses. Gasoline, the groceries, the dry cleaning, and things like that.
Okay. I know in our household we do it on the computer. Is there a suggested way for folks to get started? Is a computer a good way for beginners? Or
for beginners, I suggest doing it manually and then shifting to the computer because they need to understand the concept first. And it's hard to get the concept when you've shifted to a computer.
Okay. How about keeping track of those ATMs? I know that's always a sticky point at my house.
Well, it's important to pay attention because where's that money going? Which is part of the other thing is tracking your expenses. Another one of the tips. Whether you use my Budget Kit or Money Tracker or system of any kind, make sure it goes into your software. But it's important to know what are those incidental expenses that are coming up and where is that $20, $40 from the ATM going.
Okay. You said rally support from your family. How do we do that?
Rally support by encouraging the kids to participate. You know, one family, they all pitch in and throw in all their change into the one big bottle, and after about 3 years, they get to go to Disneyland. So it's important to have children participate because they are creative and resourceful.
What's the biggest mistake most of us make?
Not paying attention to all that incidental spending. One example, one woman found that by just paying attention to her vending machine, she was spending $60 a month on a vending machine.
Wow.
Expenses.
What's something that we typically tend to forget?
We tend to forget the fast foods. We tend to forget the incidentals like books and CDs and
perhaps gifts for family members.
Gifts always. That's always undervalued.
Yeah.
Okay. A major one.
What about things to look forward to planning next year's taxes? How can we start to think ahead to keep our tax bottom line healthy for next year? By
keeping track of our expenses. We've probably noticed when we did our taxes this year, we had certain categories. So let's look at those categories, make sure we pay attention to those categories this year. In our check register, we may want to highlight those categories so that we can flip through it for taxes next year. But the other thing I think is real important is to be planning ahead for those supplies expenses that we often overlook. Those can be auto maintenance, home maintenance, licenses, children's activities, things that are not happening every month and we so often overlook. So that's another important part of planning.
Okay, so always keep your eye on that bottom line.
Always.
Thank you, Judy. Judy Lawrence, thanks for joining us.